put some pressure on it.
Okay.
Bonnie, can I ask a favor?
Yes.
Is there any way that they can get into what seats they are, so we can, it would make it easier for me. I don't know if it makes it easier for others, but.
And are you having another forum for the other candidates?
Okay.
This is it.
Bonnie, are you having another forum for the other candidates?
No.
Why have you only invited some of the candidates?
Okay, Luke is B. All the way to Kelly is C. D, is that right? C. And then seat I, Valerie and Guy.
And I am also running for seat I. I was not invited. Thank you.
All right, we need a question.
The homeowner exemption?
Would you like to ask a question?
Yes. Do you favor the increasing the homeowner exemption from 20 to 50 grand off the top of your taxes?
All right, we're going to start with Valerie.
Yes, and actually, we'd like to lobby the legislature to get that up to 100,000, and that will really offset any sales tax if that passes. So we've already increased it from 10 to 20, and the problem is the Matsu area and the Kenai area aren't very keen on increasing that. So we really ought to spend some time trying to get that increased.
Yes, and I would encourage everyone to reach out to the legislature, so hopefully that'll get more hearings in the legislature next year.
I think with anything, certainly we need to make sure that we have input from all of our constituents, and so I have to research some more information and give you an opinion on that. Thank you.
I definitely believe in it. I actually testified on both of them, the 100,000, the 50,000, just so that you know, it is not on the first 50,000. That's the way the senior exemption is. It would be 50,000 or 20%, whichever one is lower, just so that you know that there is a difference between the two. So you can look at it to pass it along the way it is, or look for that first 50,000.
Yeah, I believe any reduction in the current burden against the homeowners should be moved over to the non-homeowners that are currently not paying a bit of taxes compared to everybody else.
Well, we all pay the taxes, but sorry about that. Somebody hates for me to give my message. Read this thing here. The legislature has no business to tell the local government how much we can exempt from taxes. Anyway, the legislature has to provide for maximum local self-government, and whether it is 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, or 200,000, we have to eliminate that last sentence from the section. And we have a few representatives here. They probably could answer that after we are all done here. If they are supporting deleting that last sentence, because then the city wanted to exempt $100,000, and if they had done that, there wouldn't be a problem with the vote we have gotten.
See, yes, of course I support the homeowner property tax exemption. The Assembly passed a resolution, as did the city councils. And it's a statewide issue, and that's where it's going to be the push to see if we can get that passed through the legislature, so that so that local municipalities have the option to then pass it on for voter approval. And I think that I was at a chamber board meeting, and the chamber members said that they find that a tolerable tax relief system, because it distributes in a small increment from the homeowners to businesses, and that could be acceptable to them. So they would even support it, it seemed like.
And yes, to summarize, we all support it. We started at 100,000, as has been said, and it's been ratcheted down to 50. Perhaps we're going to start again at 100. It's a very good way to do it. It slightly shifts the burden of taxation to the commercial properties, Fort Knox, refineries, box stores, and so on. It's a good idea. We've got resistance from Anchorage, and I thought resistance from Kenai and Matsu. Perhaps they've been shipped away But we need to lobby it even harder in the legislature. Thank you.
All right, question. Rick,
Just proceed C, if I may.
can't do that. Everybody gets every question.
Except the people not invited.
Well, my question has to do with union affiliation and representing the taxpayers in contracts that are presented to the Assembly. Specifically, Kelly Brown, Tammy Wilson. Kelly is longtime affiliated with unions, working for them in that capacity. Tammy advocating for project labor language forced on in a contract in the GIA bill for the unions. Specifically thinking of you two, how would you balance that affiliation with unions when you're looking at contracts that come before the legislature? Ms.
Well, it's got to go
Blanchard,
to everybody, so
yeah,
generally,
I
how would
wasn't
you
going to single out
approach
the
a...
others. I wanted to speak to CC
Yeah.
because to me those are the two clear issues that I wanted to.
How would you approach the contract, the union contracts, if they come up for renegotiation during your term?
And if they want to speak to their affiliations with union
That's part of their
management,
answer.
however.
Go for it.
Yes, I come from a union family. My father was a Teamster for many years, and that's how he managed to raise 8 children all by himself. I have been a member of the Alaska State Employees and Laborers for 20 years. I think you know my husband is a member of the Operators, and my brother is a longtime member of Laborers 942. I am, as a business agent, I worked and represented employees for the State of Alaska General Government Unit. And if you don't know, that's a pretty large unit. They have hundreds of classifications: nurses, geologists, biologists, clerks, none of which I am. And so my job was to listen to what was going on and try to work to figure out a situation so that workplace was going to be able to proceed. The contracts for a borough assembly member is to vote them up or down. It's the borough mayor that negotiates the contract. So I'll be looking for the borough mayor's recommendation.
I would have to say that since I don't have any affiliation with the union, that I would give it a fair look, and I think that it's important that all sides are considered in any type of negotiation. It's important that it be fair, transparent, that there's accountability, and there are standards built in. So I think if it's given a fair look and all interests are taken into consideration, then things should come out properly.
Well, I married into the union, and I'm glad I did. It allowed me to be a homemaker and be able to stay home with my children, be able to homeschool them without that pay and the kind of health care that we got because of it. I would not be able to do that. My son is now an apprentice with the Operators Union. I have 3 other children who aren't. Yes, I felt for the PLA, the Project Labor Agreement, and the reason I did is because Alaskans need to know that they're going to get hired first when the gas line. And it's not just for unions, it's also for those in other businesses. And from all the research I did when I backed that was our only legal way of making sure that we can hire our own children first. And that is so important to me, whether it's my children, your children, whether they're in a union or not. And as far as contracts are, if there was ever a conflict because of it, I would excuse myself. Otherwise, those who are going to bring it like the mayor would, I would back their recommendation and look into it like I did. But I'm proud of being a wife of a union member.
Being a union member, I'm not. I've spent 10 years in probably the biggest union, which is the United States Army, before I was disabled. After that, I've been working for companies, and I paid my own way without having to worry about union benefits. The way I'm looking at it is the people of the area are paying for services to be conducted, and if the union, which I do believe in hiring local first, and if the union is coming in and they're able to accomplish a mission and get it done within the budget that is being put forth, I say always.